Salutations, ladies and gentlemen. The Knife Raven here, back again with another video. And this will be a much quicker video than the other two that were most recently uploaded, but I just thought I should make it anyway. This is of a knife that was found on Amazon, quite rare. And this is the Kiridashi Knife. Packaged very simply, and by simply I mean a little plastic bag. I did oil it, because this is a carbon blade. I oiled it almost too much. It's now stuck in the pack. This knife is from Japan. This is, of course, resold by Amazon, but yes, these are made in Seki City, if I remember correctly. The city of steel for Japan. It's like Japan's Sheffield, or Maniago, Thiers, or Zollingen. And this particular knife is something I've always been interested in. It is a pocket knife, but it's a fixed blade. Now, here we have the Kiridashi out of its pack, and you can see this is a very simple construction. You have a piece of folded brass, making this also the thinnest knife I own. You can see there are some engravings in here. There's looks like a bit of an oval shape, and then it says something in Japanese that I unfortunately cannot translate. If I have any, unlikely, but if I have any Japanese viewers here, please, by all means, tell me what this says, because I don't have the foggiest idea what this is supposed to say. But very similar, I believe, to my Higo, which again is another thin piece of folded brass with a carbon blade. This one also has some writing in it that I also cannot understand. But nonetheless, we have a simple piece of folded brass, and the knife is divided in two sections. First and foremost, the overall length of this knife with the cap is just under 5 inches. But when you remove this cap, it's not secured by any locking device, it's just friction. It reveals this lovely chisel grind blade. Now, this would certainly be considered the Tonto style blade in the knife community. This would be probably primarily known as a Tonto blade. And you can get these made for lefties, and by that I mean the chisel grind is instead on this side, as opposed to over here. This is the right-hand version, as this was half the price and had faster shipping. But this is a carbon blade. I believe this is SK steel. It is a common carbon steel used in Japan, although don't quote me on that. It has a lovely little mirror finish. However, the cutting edge is satin, so no finish on that. Very nice reflective surface with the kind of satin brass. And this blade is one of the sharpest knives I own, and I'm not exaggerating with that. In fact, I'm gonna lose all the hair on my arm, but I will just showcase what I mean by that. As this knife is incredibly sharp. You can see this is shaving sharp, and that is quite common with blades from Japan. They do not mess around when it comes to sharpening. They make sure the knife arrives hair-popping sharp, no exceptions. And this is just a really good example of that. Comfort-wise, I would say it is decent, but you have to keep in mind, this is an incredibly thin knife, which while that does make it easy to carry without any real problems, whether that be in the pocket, in a bag, really in the fifth pocket or a suit pocket, this is a very, very thin knife, making it easy to bring around with you, but it's not the easiest to grab onto. You kind of have to wrap your whole hand around it and put your finger up top to get really any decent control of the blade. But yeah, this is a very simple design. From what I know, Kiridashi craft knives were used sort of as Japan's version of a pocket knife. And I believe they have been around for longer than the Higo no Kami. Or at very least, that's what I have been told. This one's getting a bit rusty. I'm going to have to clean that off. But nonetheless, this knife is... I actually have to say I like it better than the Higo. That is, better than the plain Higo. Probably for the primary reason of... The Higo is a friction folder, which means it's kind of unsafe to use. Whereas this is a fixed blade, and you don't have to worry about it closing on you. It's incredibly pocketable. It has a very, very nice blade shape. Very easy to sharpen, as carbon steel is well known for that. It's easy to get a sharp edge out of, this steel, and it comes incredibly sharp. It's got a pretty high Rockwell hardness, despite the blade being incredibly thin. It doesn't feel like something that would bend or snap. The construction is uber simple, and is just all in all very well done for the price of about, I believe, about $12 Canadian. So, absurdly cheap knife. Anyone can afford this, no matter what kind of budget you're on. And anyone can appreciate this, whether they're a person who wants this for craft projects like woodworking and whittling, or papercraft, origami, kirigami, and the such. Or if you're a collector like myself and you just wanted to add a unique piece of cutlery to your collection. This really is a great tool for that. Truly. So my opinions on this knife, I would rate it about, I don't know, 10 out of 10. For what it is, the price, unbeatable to start. Made in Japan, good steel, good Rockwell hardness, comes perfectly sharp, easy to sharpen, easy to hold an edge, great blade shape. Maybe not the best for all-around tasks, but for what it's designed for, this is an excellent blade shape. You can get it for left or right-handed use. Just great, simple, thin, easy to carry. Nice cap that doesn't feel like it's in any danger of falling off. Just a brilliant little knife. I am very pleased with this. You'll probably be seeing this knife more in future videos. I'm kind of interested to try it out as a wood carving knife. But yeah, I absolutely love this little thing. It's so thin you could carry it pretty much anywhere, well, that allows it. The laws are strange. I don't know in the UK if you can carry a pocket fixed blade, but the blade's under 3 inches in overall length, so that should be good. But let me just double check that. Yeah, there's no way. Even with the unsharpened bit, it's about 2 inches. So incredibly short blade with good steel, very nice quality, very simple, very traditional, very inexpensive, can be carried almost anywhere, it's very pocketable, and is just overall a really unique little knife. I'm really, really happy with this. And again, for $13, it's kind of unbeatable. I always thought that the Higo was my favorite simple design for Japanese knives, but I don't know. I think it has a contender. I've never been one for carrying fixed blades, but this one is so small, so easy to carry, so thin, so lightweight, that I might just have to start carrying this, because never before have I seen such a utilitarian little knife. I'm very, very happy with this knife. So please, I always kind of suggest, here's where you can find a knife, but this one, please go check it out. This is an amazing little knife, and whether you're a woodworker, you do paper craft, whether you want it as an everyday carry, or as just a simple box opener, this is just an amazing knife. And the historical value for $13, and it's still made in a traditional factory in Japan, and this is also a family business. This is a company that's been passed down throughout multiple generations. Just please, by all means, check this knife out. I believe it's just called the Kiridashi Knife on Amazon, and it should be the first result the cheapest result, and the best result. But I'm incredibly impressed with this knife. Maybe I'll do some carving with it and do a follow-up video. This has just been kind of a very brief overview of just how much I like this little design and how much this knife will probably get used in the future, but please check it out. I highly recommend it. So thank you very much for watching. This has been the Knife Raven, as always, signing off. Goodbye.